It's Miss Hurst from Hamilton County Schools. We're going to continue our work with fairy tales today by reading a text called Why Fairy Tales Are Good for Kids, Big Bad Wolf and All. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so you can do the warm-up. I spelled something wrong. So what violent scenes do you remember from fairy tales? I want you to list all of the violent scenes that you can remember. All right, so today we're going to be looking at how sections of a text contribute to the whole. So as you read this text, you're going to do this first read for nonfiction. So you're going to notice the general ideas of the text. What is it about? Who is involved? You're going to annotate by marking vocabulary and key passages you want to revisit. You're going to connect ideas within the selection to what you already know and what you've already read. And then you're going to respond by completing the comprehension check. Actually, there's not a comprehension check. So you're going to respond by writing what you think the central idea of the text is. You can also do a timeline if you'd like, but it doesn't really have a timeline. So coming up with the central idea is going to be your best bet. So go ahead and do your first read and identify the central idea of the text. Pause me while you do that. Press play when you're ready to continue. All right, so hopefully you guys came up with a central idea. I'm going to write what I think it is. I think the central idea is that fairy tales, including the violence, serve a purpose for most children. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the individual sections of this text, think about just kind of answering the question, which is impact on meaning, and then how does it prove the central idea? Or what is its impact on the central idea? So I'm going to do the first question. I'm gonna let you guys take time to do this and then we'll go over it. And then the last one is for you guys to do. And then we will have an exit ticket. So in the introduction, how does the author use hyperbole or exaggeration? So what I noticed was the author uses hyperbole or exaggeration several times in the introduction. She says, all over the world. Countless traditions. Any parent. And anytime, anywhere. I highlighted it because I thought it was very exaggerated, right? So this highlights and perhaps exaggerates the importance of fairy tales. I'm not saying that fairy tales aren't important, but saying all over the world, dates back to the inception of humankind, countless generations, countless traditions. Isn't storytelling the perfect way to share our love of books with our kids and unwind before bedtime? Anytime, anywhere, any parent obsessed. So I think she did this on purpose. I think by highlighting the importance of fairy tales, the author shows that they are being used by most families, which shows they probably do serve a purpose. Okay, so I answer the question to show the impact on meaning, and then I go back to that central idea. So I want you to take the time to do the next two. What is the purpose of the questions at the end of Friendlier Tales? And why does the author introduce Bettelheim in the section about symbolism? Pause me while you fill that chart out and press play when you're ready to continue. All right, so hopefully you thought this through like I did. So I think the author ends with questions to get the reader's minds working. So these questions point to the purpose of the article. Show that the violent side of fairy tales actually do serve a purpose. So specifically by asking the question, does the message have to be so graphic? The author allows herself to answer that the violence serves a purpose, right? So she's like, I'm going to ask this question so I then can answer it to prove my point. So then why does the author introduce this guy Bettelheim in the section about symbolism? So I think the author introduces Bettelheim to give credibility to her own ideas. The violence is actually important. So Bettelheim is an expert who believes violence serves a purpose, so including research helps to prove the central idea. Right? All right, I want you to answer this last question. So at the very end, we have this section of bullet points with his concepts. What do the bullet points prove? Take some time to do that. Press pause while you do it. Press play when you're ready to continue. All right, I think it's important to remember that good readers consider each section of the text to contribute to the overall meaning, just like this author, Elena Markina, did. As your exit ticket, I want you to do a quick write. In Why Fairy Tales Are Good for Kids, Big Bad Wolf and All by Elena and Markina, what is the purpose of ending the text with bullet points, and how do the bulleted suggestions help develop the author's claim or central idea? Once you're done with that, you are good to go. Have a wonderful rest of your day.